II on your Android phone or on your jailbroken Apple device. So first of all, if you're using an Android phone, then this is really easy. All you have to do is get a micro SD card or whatever type of media you can use to transfer data from your computer to your Android device. But if you're on the Apple device, an iOS Apple device, then you may have to jailbreak your phone. Of course, these are patched all the time, so it's not really worth it. So this is mainly just for Android users. So what you're going to want to do first is you're going to want to figure out how to find your Star Wars Battlefront II ISO. As you can see, I already have one, but in order to find one, you are probably going to have to go look on the internet, or you can use an application on your PlayStation Portable, if you have one, to dump all the files into an ISO file, like what I have right here. So if you don't have a PlayStation Portable, or you don't want to jailbreak your PlayStation Portable, then you are going to have to figure out how you're going to find the ISO. Of course, I'm not going to supply any links or any downloads to find the ISO, because technically it is pirating to do that, so I wouldn't recommend doing it. So if you do have a Battlefront 2 ISO for PS2 or PSP, sorry, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to grab your micro SD card or whatever media you can use on your phone, put it in your computer, and then copy the ISO into that spot. So as you can see here, I have a dummy folder for my SD card. Of course, I'm not going to use a real SD card right now because I really don't need to use it. So what you're going to want to do is, if you're going to want to, easily find your ISO, you're going to want to create a folder, and you're going to name the folder Ppsspp. And inside that folder, you're going to want to make a subfolder game. So once you call it game, now what you're going to do is you're going to move your ISO file into your game folder, and pretty much that's it. What you're going to do is you're going to take your micro SD card out of the computer, and then you're going to insert it into your phone or your tablet. So now here we are on my Android tablet. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to your file manager. Now, one thing to note is, again, if you're on an Apple device, there is no file manager or file explorer, because Apple doesn't want you doing it because it's a closed source operating system. So what you would have to do is you would have to jailbreak your phone to where there is a file manager and you can do these things. But the problem is you can risk breaking your phone if there's a firmware update for your Apple device. So I recommend you just don't do it if you're on Apple. Just if you have an Android, this is mainly for you. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to look for your Ppsspp folder on your SD card, and then you're going to go in your game folder. Of course, I don't have it there. I actually have it in this folder. And here you go, Ppsspp game, and then there's my ISO. So what we're going to do is you're going to want to install Ppsspp. You don't have to jailbreak your Android. It's on the App Store, Google Play. So would you install it, and it's free. I mean, you can support it, donate, whatever. And as you can see, there's three little folder thingies. There's recent, which will have all your Ppsspp games that you recently played, if you have any ISO. As you can see, I've been playing Battlefront II. As you can see, if you open it, it will just load the game as if you're loading an actual Ppsspp game. Now, there's a few features in this, such as you can overclock the game to make it run faster by pressing this button. As you can see, the game is running faster and the audio is all weird. So you can also pause the game, go to game settings. I'm going to show you all the game settings I have. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put frame skipping on 8, because if the game starts running slower, then it'll skip a few frames. It doesn't make that big of a difference, and it does actually It makes the audio more clear than it just sounding like a bunch of a big mess. And yes, put on auto frame skip. And what else? And the rendering resolution. You're gonna want to put this on 1x PSP. This is just my recommendation, but you can do whatever you want. But to make it run faster with this specific game, I recommend 1x the PSP resolution. Put the display's resolution to your native device resolution on the other one. Have to do, and that's all the settings I use. Of course, you can on audio. My audio latency is on medium. If I'm correct, it's on high. Normally, when it's on high, it stutters a lot. So just put the audio latency on medium, and turn off audio sync. And then that's pretty much it. If you wanna play WLAN, you can enable it or disable it. So really, this is pretty cool. And of course, you can just play the game, load your PSP file, and all your saves will be put in a folder on your Android operating system. Just look for it. It's a PSP folder. So if we go in multiplayer, it says WLAN switch is off. Please ensure the WLAN switch is turned on. And all you have to do is go into game settings, networking, enable WLAN. Now this may break games sometimes, but now if we go to multiplayer, it's letting us go through the menus. Of course, you're going to need another person on your WLAN, so you can play with people who are on an actual PSP and people who are also using the ISO of the game. So pretty much that's it. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope this helped you. There's not a lot of other tutorials that are really good out there, so your only problem is you're going to have to figure out where to get the actual game. So good luck with that.